everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 355. I am echoing in your mic right now. Yeah.
Hey, how?
Oh,
Hey,
I just
the
noticed it now.
headphones on.
Oh, I can hear me though. And I can see your Discord light lighting up whenever I talk.
How about now?
Testing. Yep, still there.
It's a mess. It's a whole mess this week.
So, welcome back, everybody. Ralph is supposed to be here. We'll see when he ends up showing up. BG is gone for the day. But, at the very least, you got DA and I. Yeah, when I got into call, with that picture that he has right now on his display, I'm like, hey, what's up? He just goes, hey. And I just started busting out laughing. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, okay, it's just me then. Never mind, it's not you.
Okay, yeah, look, got me worried.
I just heard an echo, so I assumed. Where am I coming? Oh, I know what it is. Never mind.
Ladies.
Ah, okay, I fixed it. It was only in my own ears. Never mind. We're good. So how has your last couple of weeks been, since it's been a little bit?
Largely uneventful. We went to the Burger Fest
Oh, yeah.
last week.
Next year. This year was a little hectic. I want to go to it so bad.
It was very, very good. It was very, very good. There weren't any outlandish, outrageous, weird things like the pomegranate burger this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was just solid burgers.
All right.
And the one that won should not have won
Oh,
because
controversy.
it was just not very good. And if you go on the Facebook, you'll see people just going, "Why did that win? It was I." Yeah, so it was they were cooking the books.
Collusion.
Yeah, no, we all ate the burger. One of the brothers was just like, "No, this ain't good," flat out, and the other ones are just like, "Nah, this is fine."
That is
Nah.
I will say, just I wasn't really feeling it, but I still probably should just toughed it out and try. Oh, look who it is! Look who it is!
Come crawling back.
Not even speaking to us.
Can't even hear us.
The state of them.
Say whatever we want. The state of you.
Listen, you gotta shit.
All right. You know what? It sounds like you still are.
Listen,
all right.
This is how it goes sometimes.
All right, I need to do some flippity-floppeting here. There we go. All right. But one of the things that I know people said to try at the Nintendo Land stuff was at the restaurant there's a Luigi pesto burger that I did not try, and I'm regretting it now just because I wasn't feeling a burger at the time, but
I mean, if you're there, you're not gonna go there really again, so you might as well have just tried everything.
You think I'm not gonna go there again?
You're not gonna go there again anytime soon.
Okay. Let's be like, let's.
Oh, that looks fucking horrendous. No, you made the right call in not eating that. Oh, that looks fucking disgusting.
I've heard good things too.
Oh, fuck that, bro. Absolutely not. Mike, if you ate this, you specifically, if you ate this, it would have been the end of your trip.
I don't want to hear that from the guy who doesn't read a menu. I will accept it from DA. I will not accept it from you.
Listen. I don't give a fuck what you'll accept. It's still true. I'm looking at this thing and I'm seeing the death of you, sir.
But
your constitution could not withstand.
Before we get into all that stuff, let's get into, of course, the weekly reminder, Black Lives Matter.
So
Salvation Inc.
sometimes whenever we feel like it, reminders.
Get your vaccines and boosters. Wear your masks in crowded indoor places if you are sick. Support Ukraine. Support LGBTQ rights. Support body autonomy. Pay your employees what they are worth. Fuck generative AI. Fuck genocide. Fuck bullies. And please be good to one another. You sounded like you had a good week.
Everything.
Yeah, DA said his was largely uneventful. How was yours?
This week.
Oof.
This week.
Oof. So
I'm tired.
this week was largely uneventful, but yeah, last week, as is evident by the hat, I will say the fact that this was the reason that I missed the burger thing in Detroit. I was like, I think it was BG sent some text to the picture. I was like, well.
You made your choice.
Yeah. So I'll talk about everything but this to start. So Universal in Orlando opened up a brand new park. If you were to go to Universal before this, basically how it was set up was you go into Universal, you get into like there's like an entryway area called City Walk, which is food, restaurants, yada yada. It's actually free to get into sans parking. And there's like a big AMC theater there and what have you. And then it splits off into two of the parks, which those obviously have an entry that are ticketed. There's Universal Studios proper, and then there's Islands of Adventure. Islands of Adventure has more thrill rides for the most part. Universal Studio more experience rides. This new park is like a 10 to 15 minute drive away from that other section. In order to actually go to the other parks, you would need to take a shuttle. But there is a hotel that is right next to the new park. It's where my dad and I stayed, and it's literally you stay there, you go through a little security checkpoint, you walk down a ramp, you're in the park. Like, it is there. I don't think I've ever seen like a resort type thing that close to the like main attraction. Then there's a central area to the park, and then it splits off into 4 different universes. Main section has a really cool twin coaster. It was actually one of my favorite rides there. Yeah, they give you the Mario pat down. And then they say, let's go. You're flagged. Time to give you the real pat down. But cool flippy twin coaster. And what have you. And then there is a How to Train Your Dragon section, which one of the rides there that I rode, to be honest, kind of sucked. Wanted it to be a little bit more of a flippy ride than it was, and it just was a little meh. The other ride there was a coaster that unfortunately broke down when I got to it. And I had a fun little moment where we got the express passes there. So I'm in the express pass line, 20, 30 minutes. And of course, you know, even the like maintenance announcements, it's like, Hiccup is working on the Dragon Gliders right now. We apologize for the inconvenience. That came on like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, I want to make sure I see at least like everything here. So I started walking out of the line. And then everybody, Hiccup's fixed the gliders. We're good to go again. Everyone line's like, yay! And I was like, oh shit. So I'd like turn around, like start like power walking back. I make it about 20 paces. And it's Hiccup's working on the hang gliders again. And everyone in the line's like, ah! And so I'm just like, wow. So someone just like literally walked me like paced back and forth a little bit in the line.
Did that just open up?
Yes, like literally a month ago.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds like they're still working out the kinks.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few rides that did that. There is the Dark Universe section, which is like classic movie monsters, classic Dracula, classic Frankenstein, classic werewolf, etc. They have like an experience ride where it's like I think the whole premise is Frankenstein's granddaughter is trying to do an experiment to like seal away Dracula for good or something. And you get to be a part of the experiment. You get strapped into this like thing, and then it's like this like kind of like crane arm that'll like take you through like animatronics, 3D images, and what have you. Been on a bunch of experience rides like it before. It was very good. And and just takes you through a ride through classic movie monsters and what have you. There's also another coaster there, but that one I didn't get to ride because it rained. And that one, that's probably the one I'm second most mad that I missed. I'll get to the first one. It's a roller coaster where the cart itself spins as it's going on the track. It looked really cool. And it like goes forwards, it goes backwards. Thrill stuff, love it. Harry Potter section, which is mostly based off the Ministry of Magic, but like the main area is like you're on the streets of Paris, which confused me because I'm like, I don't think this was ever in a movie or a book, like ever.
No.
Maybe one of the Fantastic Beasts.
Maybe that's the only thing I could think of.
There was a circus scene with
there was a circus in the area, so probably that's what it was.
Okay, yeah. That was
the third
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah, that's the third one. Yeah.
Yeah. AKA not the worst one.
No, it is the worst one.
It's
the
tough.
worst one. It is the worst one.
If you go to our Harry Potter video, when we started talking about it, I go, we talk about, hey, we're talking about Harry Potter and the crimes of Grindelwald. And I go, there are very little crimes in this movie. And Peachy goes, there's very little Grindelwald in this movie.
Yeah.
So, and obviously has like all the different stuff that like other Universal parks. If you have one of the little interactive wands, you can go and do like interactive stuff, what have you. Food, drink. There's also the ministry ride. So basically, it's the line starts outside. You do like a normal snaking thing of any like amusement park ride. Then you go inside, but then you go through flue powder fireplaces, and then you end up inside the Ministry of Magic. So it's like you get transported to London, England. This ride.
How did they simulate that?
As you're walking through the fireplace, it lights up green, and then it, like poofs up a bunch of smoke as you walk through the fireplace. It was good. It was good. The interior area of the Ministry, huge. It ripped straight from the movies, basically. The thing is, this ride is also prone to breaking down a bunch.
Oh, no.
I didn't end up getting on it. So we're going through the line, and up, down, up, down. We were in the line for like, I want to say an hour to an hour and a half. And then my dad's just like, I gotta pee. So if you want to stay in the line, you can. We can meet up somewhere. And I'm like, okay, well, I think this line over here is the single riders line. So maybe I'll hop over there and see if I can get on faster. And I was like, I feel like we're close to the end. It's, we had the outdoor section, the big area of then like the next smaller room, which is like you're checking into the Ministry if you're like going to visit or what have you. I'm like, there's probably like maybe like one or two more rooms. There's 5 more rooms ahead of where I was. And then I got stopped because there's an employee there. And I'm like, is this the single riders line? They're like, no, this is the like accessibility line. And I could see like 1 to 2 more rooms beyond him. I was like, fuck this. I'm like, I don't even like Harry Potter that much anymore. So it's like, it's one of the things where I wanted to ride it at least once, but not waiting through all that. And of course, the express passes that we got in the fine print, it's like for select rides. So, of course.
And then it also hurts when 80 other people also got the express ride.
Yeah. But yeah, that area, at the very least, in terms of if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you'd like that area. And then finally, Super Nintendo Land, which was the first place that I actually went in the day. Because we basically staying at the hotel, you get in the park early, so I wanted to make sure I got as much done there as possible while regular people couldn't get in. So got in there. Basically everything in there is interactive. It is a video game made into an amusement park. You get the little wrist bracelet. You can go around, literally punch all the blocks. All the bottoms are like rubber, and you can punch the crap out of them, and you hear the sound effect, and you get that serotonin rush. And then the main ride is part AR, part like animatronic or what have you. The Mario Kart ride, where you go through the ride, you get this like plastic hat thing that you like strap on to your head, and there's like a little tightening thing. Then once you get to the ride, there are goggles that clip into the hat, and they're AR. So you like look down at the steering wheel, you'll see like a gauge for how many coins you've earned and how your shells. And then basically as you're driving around, you see all the Mario Kart racers, Goombas, Koopas, like all flying around through the AR goggles. And then you'll get shells. And then basically by aiming, you actually like look to where you're aiming. So you fire the button. And then every time there's a turn in the course, you have to actually turn the wheel. And then you get a high score of coins at the end of the ride. Of course, making it a video game and what have you. And there's so many other interactive elements. There is a like partner app that you get that you sync that bracelet to, which has leaderboards for all the different character bracelets at any given hour. It's like who's earned the most coins per your character. The completionist side of me had a real panic attack because there's collectible stamps / achievements.
I understand. I would see that. I'd be like, I want that. and I shouldn't.
Unless you live in Orlando, you'll never be able to complete it. Because some of the stamps are visit the park between this date and this date. So those ones you're never going to be able to do. And trying to get all the ones that aren't that are also pretty hard, just because some of them are like ride the Mario Kart ride 5 times. That can basically be your whole day if you just focus on that. One of them was like punch any block 250 times in one day, which you could realistically in like 10 minutes be like ding 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 if you really wanted to. And then there's all the different mini games and what have you. There's these like binocular like question mark block things you can look through, and as you're looking through them, there's a whole bunch of characters flying around. There's like hidden characters throughout the park that you can find if you look at certain parts of the park. Just so much interactive stuff. And then there's, if you do some of the mini games, and there's other mini games you unlock later on, etc., etc. And then that's only the Mario part or Mario area. Then a little bit beyond that is the Donkey Kong area, which has its own set of things where they have hidden the Kong letters they have hidden around that you can scan. Bunch of interactive things. The one thing that I felt so bad for the employees, one of the mini games that's in that park, there's like a set of bongos, a bunch of different bongos, and they're playing Jungle Japes in the speakers. And on the bongos themselves, and then there's lights, you see basically the drum beat, and you have to go like bum ba dum da bum da bum da bum bum to the theme of the music. And then if you do it well enough for a little while, Rampy is like in a box, he'll like poke his head out and say like, you know, it's like your thing of good job. The problem is that since that whole mini game is directly tied to the song doesn't change. So it is just Jungle Japes the whole day in the Donkey Kong section.
Yourself at that point, you just end yourself.
Which, like, for me, point. I like the song, but I'm a fanboy. For the employees, you better hope it's like you're inside one of the lines today, and they're like, yes, my sanity. But that's
basically Christmas music over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's working retail. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely not.
That is the one ride that I did not get on that I wanted to, which was the DK ride. It was like when I got to it, it was like a 75-minute wait. And then by the time I got to the end of the day, because of the rain, it had broken down and basically didn't get up by the time my dad and I wanted to leave. So a couple rides I didn't get into just due to weather or just flat out having maintenance issues in general in the park. But overall, the whole park is really cool. If you go, highly recommend it, especially if you have any passing interest in Nintendo. And then the other thing is, so, you know, there's Mario, there's DK, and then there's a lot of room around the park itself for expansion of everything. New universes or expanding the current things that they have. There was one other franchise that had some level of representation in the park. inside the main shop, they had these stained glass windows. They had like Mario, DK, a bunch of different characters. It had Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf. On the floor of that shop, there was a big Hyrulean mural, as well as some banners of the old 8-bit, and that was the only other franchise in the shop that had merch. So I'm pretty sure the next franchise to get a park or an attraction will be Zelda.
My goodness. That will be the saddest day in history.
Dude,
The greatest!
He's going to literally take a full week off and just live there for a week. That's what's going to happen.
Sure.
We will not hear from him. We will not see of him. And the next time we do, he will only speak in Hylian. That is what will fucking happen.
I'll be speaking like Midna, just garbled up garbage language. Because like I thought about it too, and Miyamoto's the one who's basically been doing all this amusement park stuff. So basically, the next to me the thing that makes the most sense that you would add is Pokemon, just in terms of popularity in general. But that has a whole another logistical loophole for the Pokemon Company and all that other stuff and merchandise and yada yada yada. But then I was like, well, Miyamoto's the one who's been doing all this amusement park stuff, so it's gonna be one of his babies. And he's already done Mario, he's already done DK. There's Star Fox. And while like a flight simulator ride would be cool, let's be real, there's been nothing good with Star Fox in the last like 2 decades.
Yeah.
Pikmin, which is something I could see, but I don't think it has that much popularity. That's the only other thing that has a shred of representation is through that little spyglass looking glass. If you look up at like the main little mountain area, there's a hidden Pikmin. That's one of the little achievements that you can find on the mountain. And then I think he also made F-Zero, which is the same problem as Star Fox.
No content.
Yeah.
The
So
DA special.
So yeah, I think the next thing, which it's going to be forever until that happens, just because they'll probably start in Japan and then it'll get to the other parks eventually. But yeah, I was happy to see there's at least a little teeny bit.
I'm shaking my head.
Zelda word. I just want them to announce Zelda World so Mike can just start saving up his like $25,000 that he's going to save because he's going to spend $25,000 at this park between his travel, his room, and the shit he's going to buy there.
Should I sell my house? I'll just buy a hut in the park. That'll work. They'll let me do that, right?
Mike, you say that like we don't think you do it. You say that like none of us believe you wouldn't be the crazy hobo guy living on the park, dodging security, speaking like a goddamn what the fuck's it called? The fucking little green bastards from fucking Breath of the Wild.
A Koroks.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah,
that's just gonna be you. That's just gonna be what you turn into.
You found me. Here's my poop. I do agree. That's if it was timed with anything meme, it's gonna be timed around that live action movie.
42-9er, Mike's back. Mike's back. I repeat, 42-9er, Mike's back. Someone bring a bucket and he shit on me again.
Which that actually has its own little bit of controversy. The movie.
I thought you were talking about you shit on somebody there
no,
for a second. Like,
no,
Mike, that segue.
No. The person that's like in talks to be playing Zelda. Have you seen that?
Yep.
So, which I'm gonna pull up her picture real quick. Is it Hunter Schafer, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a picture that basically people have been like explicitly sharing, and it. So this is the front runner that people are thinking is going to be cast as Zelda, and like, yeah. Yeah. She looks the part for sure, but the big controversy is she's trans.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike. No, dialing back a bit, still on Zelda news. So, according to the rumor mill at Universal, there is talks at the company of retheming the Lost Continent area in Islands of Adventure for a particular Nintendo themed space.
Yeah.
And it's scummy, but they've been doing this already where they separate it, they split up the stuff in between all the parks. So if you want to experience it all, you got to pay more money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that, in line with what they've done, that makes sense. But, so one of the other things that happened while I was there, so when we got rained on, when the thunderstorm rolled through, there's like a little tavern bar thing in the Dark Universe area. So I went in there, and as I'm there with my dad, I turn around, I see a dude has a Zelda hat on. So I'm like, hey, I like your Zelda hat. And I had my Zelda shirt, showed the shirt, and just talking, and obviously both of them big nerds, it's a couple, and just like talking about different stuff, different consoles. I was like, yeah, I've been collecting consoles, yeah. And the girlfriend or wife, I never actually got that clarification. She's like, do you stream? I was like, yes. She's like, you kind of give off that vibe. And I'm like, I mean, if you're going to twist my arm, here's the stream. That has never happened before. We're just off
You
the
look
cuff.
like a dork that doesn't leave his house and streams himself playing video games. Is that a compliment?
But
They walked away going, that kid is so sad.
well, it's
Throws away the card instantly.
I don't have I just showed the name. They took a picture of the stream.
They posted to their fucking Facebook going, this poor fucker.
If we get a follower or two, hey, cool. But just had a fun little conversation. They're the thing that they wanted, because of course we're both like, if they add a new Zelda park, they had a new Zelda park. At Disney, at Animal Kingdom, they have a Avatar section, the blue people Avatar, and they have a bunch of like floating rocks and like basically just stuff that makes it look like you got to whatever the planet's called. I forget the name of it.
No, that's stuff of material, unobtainium. I
remember the material. I remember the species, the Navi. I don't remember what the planet's called, but
Big
Pandora?
Pandora.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
They had like
I knew the battlefield. Wow, no.
It's been a week.
I'm going back to bed.
There's like a whole bunch of like different floating rocks and like different stuff, and it makes it look like you've gone to a new planet. They're like, I just want Tears of the Kingdom floating island stuff. I'm like, that would be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. Yeah, use Borderland nerds? Is that supposed to be
use Borderlands nerds?
Is that,
Let me tell you, use Borderlands nerds.
is that supposed to be a slight at Ralph? But
use Borderlands. Jesus.
I'm a bit tired. You and Ralph both, buddy. But
I nap right here.
but that's all I'll say in terms of that. The only other thing, I got like a couple of hats. The only other thing, I need to figure out where to hang it. But I liked this sign that they had.
Built a hat rack for behind your stream section yet?
There's no room.
You and
Hence
your
the problem with this. I don't know where to put
Restructure the room.
I've thought about that too. Don't you?
It's about time. It's getting that time, Mikey boy.
It's the work and the money and the time to actually put behind that.
I'm honestly just kind of surprised you haven't knocked down that one wall for that bedroom and just made the whole space a stream area. I'm waiting for that.
Oh, that?
Yeah. Just expand the shit out of it.
It's when you are a responsible homeowner, a 4-bedroom house sells more than a 3-bedroom house. So
No.
With a super octo room. How you gonna sell that?
It has two master bedrooms.
Library office space, custom built.
And here's the museum. Standard.
This is where I put all the local animals. I have. Never mind.
Okay. So enough on that. Did you guys see the black goo creature that was found in Ohio recently?
Mike, you know we haven't. Clarify.
So
Who is we? Of course I've seen that.
So
I
basically,
keep up on symbiote news.
So basically, there's like a research vessel on Lake Erie studying some invasive algae. And they had some technical issues with the boat. So they took it to a dry dock, got it out of the water. We were inspecting it and what have you. And then I think it was like the main rudder, I want to say. They found this like oily tar-like substance on it. And you might think, well, that's, you know, you oil stuff on mechanical things. That seems to make sense. But for this particular piece of the rudder, the only thing that lubricates it is the water that it's in. There is no oil on it at all. So this is quite literally a foreign substance. So they scraped a little bit off. Then they're like, okay, is it like an oil thing? So they put it in the water. It doesn't dissipate. It maintains. Like, okay. They tried to burn it with a butane torch. Didn't burn. So they're like, what is this? So they scraped up a bunch of it, took it to a research facility, checked for DNA sequences. They found a couple of stuff that they've seen before, a couple of like partial matches, and then one thing they had never seen before. So it is some unknown life form that seems to kind of mass into a black goo that, you know, at least subsists in water, and that's all they know about it so far.
The ocean is quite bad.
Oh no, this isn't an ocean. This is a lake. It's Lake Erie.
Oh, that's worse.
So,
The ocean has a lot of mysteries, but we can get to the bottom of Lake Erie.
if you can sift through all
I guess
the pollution.
we don't want to.
So if you can sift through all the pollution and the maybe fire that might happen if you drop a match into the lake, but the that unidentified DNA sequence is now known temporarily as Ship Goo 001. Is its current tentative official name.
They're like, don't worry, we're going to find other ones. So just put 2 zeros in front of it, and then we'll figure out the rest of them. This time next year, imagine if we're like, yep, Ship Zoo 86. Why is there so much goo? Unique goo at that.
That's like the fact that, you know, the planet has developed plastic-eating bacterium in response to all of the fucking plastic in the ocean. Like, there's actual microbial beings that have evolved specifically to feed on plastics in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this shit just might be an evolution based on, you know, oil? You never know.
But, of
That's
course,
terrifying, though.
Of all the places they found it.
Of course it's Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Of course it's Cleveland. I'm not even surprised.
But, so yeah, you know, symbiotes are real, seemingly. Be on the lookout for be on the lookout for that. Did you guys see the Tiny Chef situation?
Yes, of course. It was all over Twitter.
I'm just going to assume anytime I ask a question now, Ralph's going to be like, huh? What?
Stuff was just dead this week.
It happened this week. I spent 5 of this week's days asleep. I don't know anything.
Oh, I forgot. Did you want to mention what you went through? All right, cool.
No.
I just remembered.
I figured you forgot. I spent 5 days basically completely asleep, so I'm just not in it.
Yep. So there's a Nickelodeon show called Tiny Chef. It's like a claymation style, different thing. What have you. Obviously way beyond our time in terms of stuff that we've seen. Nickelodeon, 2 weeks ago, canceled it. Canceled the show. And then the makers of Tiny Chef put out a cancellation announcement, and it is one of the most gut-wrenching, sad things I have ever seen in my life. Because I guess
instant investment.
Yeah, basically, I think like the Tiny Chef, like, kind of like it's almost like Swedish Chef, where it's like he kind of speaks it a little bit in gibberish, and it's like he's like cooking and what have you, and then he gets a phone call, and then you just see he's like starts off happy, and then you like you see he gets sad, and he's like holding it together on the phone, and then he hangs up the phone, he sits down, turns around, looks down, and just starts bawling. Just pure, unadulterated sadness.
No. It's even worse because he's sweeping at first, and he goes back to he hangs up the phone, sort of smooths out his apron, starts to sweep again, and then breaks down.
It's
bad.
It was.
I'm like, what's it? You're gonna traumatize children. You're traumatizing adults with this thing that people have never heard of for literal preschoolers. But it's just a good bit of storytelling and a credit to the writers that they're able to get that investment out of people with a character nobody's ever heard of with a one-sided conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a big brown blob essentially.
Yep. And because of that, there was a groundswell of support. The show lives on as an independent show now. It is getting removed from Nickelodeon, but basically they have secured enough funding from pure backing of people that saw the video that it can still exist as an independent show, which is bonkers. But yeah, if you want to feel things today, go look at that original video. Because, boy, I think I was in... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's bad, and I don't know why they would do that, and especially considering the show had won an Emmy, so that was also one of the things that the Tiny Chef said. It was like, but we won an Emmy, because it was a fake call from I think a Nickelodeon or something like that, something that's not Nickelodeon, but it's the same. But we all know what it was, and the chef is just like, but we won an Emmy, and it's just this one-way conversation on the phone, and it's very, very sad, and it's like. Who is this for?
The creators, just to show, be like, this sucks.
Screw y'all. We're gonna for free spend weeks making this sad cartoon, this sad claymation.
Yep. Yeah, I think I was in Florida when I saw it, and I was like, I'm on vacation. I don't need.
Why am I feeling things?
I don't need to feel this right now.
What the fuck?
Oh, you watching it? You're watching it?
Begging for people's other lives, like, but there's people that are relying on us. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
I love you too.
Uh-huh.
He does the apron. No, shut the fuck up.
Uh-huh.
The dropping, bro. He picks up the broom, drops it, goes to the bed, and starts crying. What the fuck are we doing?
like why?
It is so.
What the fuck are we doing? Whatever. That's fucking funny.
But on the note of big studios or big owning companies,
funny. Hello, Hollow Man 190.
the whole the Microsoft stuff too.
What now?
The layoffs, all
What
the
now?
gaming layout. God damn it, dude.
You gotta stop saying it like everyone knows, man.
Because they do! It's just you!
It's a pretty big thing.
I don't know what the fucking date is. There were fireworks going off. I'm like, what is it? The 4th of July? It's fucking June. Oh fuck! It's the 4th of July. Dude, it's not been a week. Bro.
All right, Cyber's there with you.
You gotta be.
Anko's there
Hey
with
guys, this happened. Can you believe it? Not like everyone knows. The moon was out yesterday. Wait, what? Really?
Anyways, so Microsoft, and let me get the full total. It's more than I thought. So the gaming layoffs, or was this in total? I just want to make sure I have the right number. Okay, I think the 9,100 is in total. But essentially, Microsoft had another round of sweeping layoffs, mostly focused in the gaming divisions. A lot of layoffs at Rare, at ZeniMax, the Candy Crush developer King. Just making sure I got all the names. But basically, because of that, the Perfect Dark reboot game canceled. There's I think Everwild, which was like a RPG thing that Rare was making, canceled. There was a new MMO that ZeniMax was making. ZeniMax is the makers of the Elder Scroll Online game, canceled. And sweeping cuts, obviously, all up and down in terms of the gaming sphere. It has led to, I think, one of the longest standing head honchos at Rare resigning. This is one of the guys who invented Diddy Kong. Like, Donkey Kong Country original. One of the devs that worked on that game, who has been at Rare the whole time, leaving the company now. Just basically in protest of all this stuff. Is bad. Is very bad. Especially with, like, there was a artist that I had met going to RTX. She used to work for Arcane Studios, the people who made Redfall. Obviously, that was one of the first initial cuts, big cuts that Microsoft Gaming did, was a bunch of the Bethesda studios just got completely shut down. She now works at Blizzard, but that is now also owned by Microsoft. So
that is not an upgrade. That is not an upgrade. Blizzard is an equally worse company.
But just in general, we're just like, it is almost preferable at this point to have the more risk of being an indie versus having the stability, in air quotes, of being bought out by a bigger corporation. Just because at any point, hey man, stock prices need to be good. We need to balance our portfolio. These companies are out of here.
Executive benefits.
Yeah. But obviously awful. I'm hoping a lot of these people can land on their feet somewhere else.
That's a lot of people, and there's not a lot of hiring going on,
that was the next point I was going to bring up. In a very, very shrinking job market, considering all of the layoffs that have happened beforehand.
We can do it with AI.
Well, yeah. Unfortunate stuff, especially for Rare, just because I feel like there's so many things that Rare has that they can offer, and I feel like they keep getting dicked over in one way.
They just need to make a fucking, I almost said Foamy the Squirrel game, a fucking Conquer the Squirrel game. That's it. Make a new Conquer.
Where did you get Foamy from?
The squirrel.
Is that a thing?
No, don't just say the squirrel.
Wait, you don't know about ill humor?
You didn't know about the layoffs?
Well,
okay.
From when we were kids.
All right. I never knew his name. I know of Foamy the Squirrel.
I never know Foamy's name. I quoted that thing years.
Did you ever say his name? No. Yes. This is the first time you said his name.
No, I have said the name.
The only thing I know him from is Snail Tech Support.
No.
That is the one thing I know him from.
Dude, I would watch every fucking episode of that when I was younger. Like, Foamy the Squirrel was the shit to watch. It was unhinged. Like, that was early internet unhinged.
Oh yeah,
humor.
this is looking like early Newgrounds E-Bombs World type stuff.
Yeah,
I
it is.
have
It is.
never in my life
Ow!
seen this.
My brother in Christ.
Never
Ow!
in my single solitary life have seen this.
Brother, you need to look at the earlier videos, the beginnings of Foamy. Oh my god. Dude, I would quote that thing on Xbox when we would play Gears of War all the fucking time. I would just spout some shit and everybody would be like, what the oh wait, no, Foamy. Yep, got you. All right, cool. We're in.
Yeah, Hollow Man, that was that was one of the big things too. I think in a lot of the court proceedings for when they were trying to acquire Activision Blizzard was like, all of these people's jobs are going to be secured.
Whoops.
Yeah, just that's the thing. I wish that was like actually legally binding, where it's like, hey, you said this, and then you fired these people. Sell the company.
Words mean nothing.
That'd be
Words
cool.
mean nothing.
Of course.
Investment fucking portfolios and executive packages are all that matters, because the stockholders are all that matters. And if you cannot create positive revenue flow for the stockholders, then your company's a failure. Fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb.
Agreed.
Modern business is a fucking sham.
Speaking of modern business, Ralph, I'm just going to assume that you didn't see this because I didn't see this until today. Apparently, Lilo and Stitch did well enough.
No, it didn't do well enough to get a sequel, Mike, but it got a sequel, Mike. Nobody wants it, Mike. Nobody cares, Mike. It fucking doesn't exist, Mike. Moving on, Mike. Like the Star Wars sequels, Mike, it doesn't exist. We don't talk about it. We're moving on.
I would love...
Fuck that shit.
Ohana
means adoption.
That's the thing. I would love if for the second movie they're like, whoops! Stitch is getting her out of adoption, guys! He's breaking her out!
Question. Where were all these people for Mufasa? The market is here. Where were y'all?
Sonic. They went to the better movie.
Sonic made less than Mufasa.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's what stops you from making more.
I just can't
Now
believe
you have to make a
it.
video. Now you got to make that video. Just fuck it up.
Cannot
Fucking deal with
believe it.
Q4.
Yeah, I can dig it. They made the right thing happen.
But then you got to look at Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, and that made $16. So what are the people want?
That's just because fucking what's her name, the lead actress, was on the fucking campaign trail being like, "Fuck this movie, fuck everybody. I hate Disney. Fuck these people. I'm a bitch.
I mean,
I hate everyone."
by all reports, it's a bad movie. So I think she's well within her rights to be like, "Hey, I worked on a stinker. And it is what it is."
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying she was wrong. But I mean, when you go out there and you create all the bad press, and now the actor is being crucified, people are just like, "I'm gonna skip it and watch it free on the internet."
I just saw recently. It just reminded me of actresses who were a part of a shit movie and now are just talking trash on it. I'm forgetting her name, but the lead actress for Madam Web.
Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, I think so. Or I think she was on Hot Ones, and it was like something, and it's like you're a hero. She's like, no, I'm not a hero. I tried once, and she like gives a look at the camera. It's like, that's a good one.
Because it's bad, and everybody knows it is bad. And the movie that she signed up for was not the movie that was released.
Mm-hmm.
So she is also well within her rights to be pissed.
I do like it though. It's just like when it's like, okay, this movie is crap, and then just the actors that are around it just kind of know it and embrace it. The other example I can think of is Halle Berry when I forget the name of the award, but it's like the award to the worst movie of the year.
The Razzies.
The Razzies, and she won it for Catwoman, and she mimicked her Oscar-winning when she won Best Actress. Oh my god! Just like
she's a good sport.
Yeah,
you gotta lean into it. You gotta take the good with the bad. Some people can't handle taking the good with the bad. It's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're gonna star in a fucking Mufasa. Sometimes you're gonna be in fucking Catfish. Like
mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
Mufasa was a pretty good movie.
Is that what you're saying in your video?
Mufasa.
Is that the opening line?
Almost.
Mufasa's strongest soldier. Still fighting the good fight.
That is my most anticipated video of 2025. If
Q4.
it's coming out this year.
Q4.
Is it?
Q4.
It is Q4? Okay.
I mean, last he said.
Q4.
That's what, okay, Q4. It is my most anticipated video. I'm going to sit down with popcorn, a drink, and just enjoy this. Because I wouldn't do that for Mufasa.
Crazy. Support the art. Disney's a struggling little studio trying their best.
Was there like a collectible popcorn tin? If there was,
yes, there was. And it is terrible looking.
You need to find it. You need to find one in the secondhand market and just have a picture of your big old Mufasa popcorn tin with the beer, with the laptop open.
Mike, please look up the Mufasa popcorn tin.
I got it.
Oh my God,
it is
not
terrible.
Oh my God. Why even do it at this point?
The Pride Rock one?
Yes. It is a little lion figure on a pile of poop.
Dude, it looks like
so
it
bad.
looks like the sorting hat from Harry Potter.
Oh, you know, I can see that. I can see that. Is this the one? Just double check the stream.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yep.
Oh, there's the little.
Be Gryffindor.
Not Slytherin, eh? So
yeah.
On eBay, Ralph, it's only $30.
Yeah, it's too much for the gag. No, thank you.
I think it's.
I mean, that might not be too much for the gag.
I don't think that's too much for the gag.
I'm not going to make that back. There's no return on that investment.
Hey, I've spent more for less, okay?
Yep. So have I. So have I. All right, and then the final thing that I have, which honestly didn't know was happening until I saw videos yesterday, was the last performance of Ozzy Osbourne. He seemingly did not die on stage like he wanted to. But I didn't realize how kind of rough of a state he was in.
Oh, he's a corpse, dude.
Yeah, he is. That man basically cannot stand on his own power anymore. But
he's super old plus drugs.
Oh yeah.
The combination.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonder that he made it for this long.
Mm-hmm. But the entire original Black Sabbath came back to perform, as well as a bunch of different musicians from his solo stuff, and then a bunch of different opening acts and what have you. Apparently, David Draymond got booed quite a bit.
He's been getting hate for a while. This is nothing new.
You know why, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This has been news for years.
For those
years.
Well, no, this is semi-recently the main thing he's getting booed for. Signing the missile.
That's been years. That happened years ago.
Did it?
Yeah, it's not new. It's just making the waves again.
Okay. But yeah, he had signed a missile that was getting delivered to Israel to be dropped on Gaza. So, yeah. Not the best look. But it was like Slayer.
Yeah, it was June of 2024 he did that.
Okay. So a year ago. But they had Slayer. They had like a super group performing a bunch of different stuff as well. Of a bunch of different musicians, Tom Morello amongst them. And then, of course, Black Sabbath / Ozzy Osbourne doing this single stuff. And he got through the whole performance. He was just sat in a throne the entire time. Did his best to, do clapping and what have you. But the voice held and was able to get through the entire performance. A swan song of one of the original Kings of Metal. Or Prince, I should say. Prince of Darkness.
The Prince of Darkness.
Yep. I remember that Warcraft commercial. Who's this guy? I've been the Prince of Darkness since 19... But yeah, it's... I'm trying to think of like other bands. Like obviously Metallica's still kicking. I think Kiss hung it up finally, right?
I know Gene Simmons. He had his own little thing, his solo thing going, and he was doing arenas, and he was selling like 200-300 tickets for arenas, and they got a lot of them canceled.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it ended. Yeah, 2023 was when the End of the Road World Tour. So I guess the show that I saw was probably a part of that. They were at Rock on the Range like 3-ish years ago. And I didn't even want to go see the show because I don't really care about Kiss in the slightest. But they put on a good show. Even for 67-year-old dudes. And he still has his hair. Ozzy, yeah. It's probably dyed heavily. It's probably all gray at this point, but yeah, end of a metal era. And with that, we are basically just about at time. So unless you guys have anything else to talk about, we can get some facts.
We got 30 facts about Florida men.
Do 21?
6.
Marvel Rivals Season 3. Phoenix looks good, I will say. I don't play it enough to like be as excited. So we got 21, 5, 12. What'd you say, Ralph?
6.
5, 6, 12,
5.
21. 5. We got meme.
A Florida man was arrested in Target for having sex with a stuffed Olaf figure from Frozen.
Shut the fuck up.
Let it go. Let it go. Here I stand. Oh.
Now, do you think he chose that in particular, or was it just the closest thing?
No, that was targeted.
I mean, we're about to find out. Florida man Olaf.
Mike, you said that like you were reaching for something, and I'm like, Mike, don't do this on stream.
The article from Miami. Florida man defiles frozen stuffed toys.
I mean, that is an apt. Oh, he looks the type. Okay,
that's not funny anymore. Fucking thing. I was gonna say the same thing. It's like he looks the part.
Yeah.
Florida man Olaf. Florida man defiles. That Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
No, you're not wrong.
Yep. Yep. God, so many ads.
Oh, he dry humped the item. There was no indecent exposure. He just laid the item on the floor and dry humped it on the ground.
I mean, is that better?
He didn't pull his dick out in the middle of a Target
Oh
and
no, no,
stuff a
no!
toy.
It says an affidavit says he ejaculated onto the merchandise before placing it back on display.
Where do you see that? I don't see that.
I'm just gonna read
I
this
am
article.
on the Miami Herald.
I'm on the same article.
Oh, he wasn't done. Deputies say he picked out another stuffed animal, this time a unicorn, and repeated the process.
Okay, so he wasn't hard for Olaf in particular, or maybe he just
No.
got, or maybe a snowman and unicorns is just
He
those two.
only had to post $150 for bail.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay.
Meter strolled into Pinellas Park Target on Tuesday afternoon, authorities said, with lust in his eyes. He headed straight towards a display of Disney Frozen merchandise.
They are taking some liberties with this article.
The St. Petersburg resident surveyed his options before selecting a large stuffed Olaf the Snowman. That's when the unthinkable happened.
He picks it up, twists it around. That's a good year, good vintage.
$150. That's nuts.
That's too little.
That's too little. Just that's when the unthinkable happened. Is kidding me. Okay. Another pin to the Florida man lapel, I guess. Giving him I'm not gonna read.
He has a long history of this behavior.
I mean,
look at him.
There's that,
You know what I'm saying?
and it's just like, it's the long history.
This is the kind of guy.
Where did it? I'm not gonna ask the question. Never mind.
There's so many questions.
My brain's going into places that I don't want the answers. Now that I'm really thinking about it.
DA, and I know you'll understand this the fastest, but this is the kind of guy who's got a jar.
He absolutely has a jar.
Rooms with arrow, for sure.
Uh-huh. Oh, hold on. I got one. Speaking of arrow. I was out with friends for the
this is
4th
a
of July.
story. Now this is okay.
Yeah. I was out with some friends for the 4th of July. We were hanging out at my buddy's place, just hanging out in the backyard, having a few drinks. I was just consuming water. And we're just going around this around the circle and just talking about like weirdest stories we've ever been told. And somebody said something and I forgot what it was. It was like because one friend was literally just making a conversation about how he wanted to get a boat. And he's like, yeah, I just want to get on a ship. And I'm like, I just want to go on a trip. And I'm like, on your favorite rocket ship? Doing through the sky, Little Einsteins. And he's just, what? And I'm like, oh, you're the Little Einsteins? He goes, yeah, I do. But why did that come into your head so fast? And I'm like, have I not told you guys the story that my one buddy had this whole thing with that? And it's cemented in my brain now in like this awful way. And they're like, no, we've not heard the Little Einstein story. My one buddy who he's lived a life. I would say he is probably the most experienced individual I've ever known.
That's a layered term.
You have. This is a man who is on multiple government watch lists. He has a connection with somebody whose last name is in Labum. Yeah. Yeah. Experienced. He has spent many years abroad. He's an individual. But
all right.
This is the guy who he turns slowly with his THC fucking hard cider and just goes, Ralph, I don't know if I want to hear this story. And so I then go on to tell the arrow story. I swear to God. So I start telling it in the same steps DA did. And I just see the faces of all of these people go from like, I'm mildly curious to, I'm absolutely horrified. And then by the end, they're like, did he realize that the bathroom was probably cameraed up and he was probably recording everything going on in the bathroom after that point after he left? And I'm like, I don't know if he thought about that.
Oh, whatever. Jerk off to me. I don't care. That does nothing for me.
Somewhere out there, there's a little Einstein baby body with a DA head glued to it. And that's in a jar too.
All right. With that, we will call this podcast a close. There actually will not be another podcast next week. I will be out of town visiting family.
It's not the podcast of stuff. It's the podcast of podcast of what?
But in terms of streams, should be having some stuff this week, some more BioShock.
It's all about Mike. Mike solo streams. Nothing else happens, guys. It's all that's important.
And then I will be busy Friday, but maybe we can try and swing a group stream on Thursday now that I actually have some prep time to think about it. And I didn't already schedule a going to a Smash tournament when it was
just
asked.
Gotta make sure you put it in the chat immediately. So
yep, we'll be doing that. But until then, thank you everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Podcast of Stuff. We will see you in roughly.
We'll see you when the fuck ever. Let's just not tell people when we're going to see them.
This is never real. I'm going to keep saying it.
Never real.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Later.